For those of you who don't know me, my name is Corporal Bates, and I'll be going over what the op order is, when you use it, and some of the paragraphs that are contained within the op order class. So, for the overview, the op order is a clear and concise order that essentially lets you know what's going on in your area of operations. It gives you the essential information to carry out an operation, and it also provides you specific tasks related to that operation. So, whenever you'll use the op order class at OCS, especially for juniors, is LRC1, LRC2, SULI 1, SULI 2, and also some of your field exercises. In addition to those main events on which you will be graded on, you will also be giving op orders constantly throughout OCS to your peers, and you'll be able to practice at night, and there will also be designated times during the op order classes that you'll actually be able to write and detail out op orders and then rebrief it to some of your squad mates. So for the first paragraph, orientation, this is the first part of the paragraph, 5-paragraph order, and it's issued prior to giving the actual op order class and is meant to orient everyone to the plan, and it contains 3 main components, which are usually given whenever you have a terrain model in front of you, so that way everybody can actually see physically where they're going and what they're doing. So the 3 main components are present location, direction of attack, and location of objective. So for a quick example of present location, it'll sound something like, we are currently located at grid coordinate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you will always repeat grid coordinates 2 times. So I say again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So for the direction of attack, is northeast. Something real simple like that. Location of objective. The location of our objective is located at grid coordinate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Say again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And at the end of orientation, you will ask if there are any questions. And this is important because you want to make sure that everybody is oriented to the present location, the direction of attack, and the location of objective. So if there's not any questions at that time, then you will say, please hold all questions till the end. And this is so that whenever you go through your op order class, you can make sure that you're flowing through the op order class, or your op order, without anybody interrupting your operation order. So for the first actual paragraph, which is situation, this paragraph gives you the general disposition of both your enemy and friendly situation, as well as whatever attachments and detachments that you have. So at OCS, the attachments and detachments, you will simply say none, because for the level that we are required to know the operation order, the attachments and detachments are not required. So enemy situation can be remembered by the acronym TSUALE. That's TSUALE. And it's also followed by the acronym DRAW-D. So, real quickly, TSUALE stands for time, size, unit, activity, location, and equipment. And it's real important that you just write that down in a vertical format, so that way you can, whenever the operation order is being briefed to you, you can write time, 1300, size, platoon size element, so on and so forth. It doesn't have to be long written out sentences. It can be 1, 2, 3 words. So that way you can write it down real fast and then rebrief it to whoever you need to brief it to. So DRAW-D just stands for defend, reinforce, attack, withdraw, and delay. It's real simple. So again, you just need to write DRAW-D in a horizontal format, and then whenever you're given what the enemy is expected to do, you'll just circle one of those letters, so that way you can real fast, if you see the R is circled and the A is circled, and then you draw a little arrow from the R to the A, then you quickly know that the enemy is expected to reinforce and then attack. Real simple. So after that, you have the friendly situation. The friendly situation can be remembered by the acronym HAS, H-A-S. So for the purposes of OCS, you will need to know about the adjacent mission. This is basically what units are to your left and to your right and where they're located. So if you do have a higher units mission, it will be typically, if you're leading a squad size element, it will be the platoon who it has the higher mission. But for the purposes of OCS, you will not need to know that. But you really need to focus on the adjacent mission, because more than likely you will be given an adjacent mission. So that leads me to attachments and detachments. Like I said before, and whenever you state attachments and detachments, you will simply say, attachments and detachments, there are none. So after that, we have mission. This is the most important paragraph of the operation order, and it gives you a clear and concise statement of what the unit should accomplish. And it's made up of the 5 W's, which are when, who, what, where, and why. It's the most important paragraph, and if anything, if you jack up any other parts of the operation order, this is the one part that you want to get right. And Compton will give you an example paragraph, an example operation order paragraph of this entire thing, so that way you get a feel for how it should flow and how it should sound like.
From here, we're going to move from mission to execution, and now we're starting to get into the meat of the operations order, where you actually formulate your plan for your fire team to assault the objective. So you're going to start with execution. The first part of execution is commander's intent. At OCS, you're always going to brief that. Commander's intent, none. Next, you're going to have concept of operations. The first part of concept of operations is scheme of maneuver. This is where you establish how your fire team is going to move to the objective and what formations you're going to use. It's important at this point to keep your descriptions of this as brief as possible and as vague as possible, so that way your fire team doesn't check out and not pay attention to what their specific task is in this. So it looks something like scheme maneuver will move from the assembly area to the attack position in a fire team column, and so on and so forth as you begin to move through the different assault position to the objective location and different formations. Next is fire support plan. At OCS, you're always going to brief this fire support plan, none. So again, the 2 parts of concept of operation is going to be scheme maneuver and fire support plan. Next, you have tasks. This is whenever you begin to assign your specific tasks for members of your fire team. So for example, would be Candidate Bates, you're the ready, you'll be in charge of navigation and pace count. Candidate Smith, you're the fire, you will be in charge of handling EPWs. Candidate Johnson, you're the assist, you will be in charge of aid and litter team. After the tasks, you have coordinating instructions. This is represented by the acronym T-BOSTR. That's T-B-O-S-T-R. The T in that stands for time of attack. So for OCS, I always brief time of attack is now. Base unit, that's going to be the base of the unit that you base all your formations on. So for example, in the fire team would be the ready, because he's going to be the point man in all your formations. O stands for order of movement. This is going to be ready, team fire, and assist for your fire team level movements, but for squad level you might have first fire team, second fire team, and third fire team as you move through the formations. Security, this is how you're going to brief whenever you transition into a hasty 180 or a consolidated 360 and the specific roles that you want members of your fire team doing at this point. T stands for tactical control measures. This is if your evaluator has given you a certain grid coordinate for your attack position or a certain landmark for you to look for. This is whenever you would brief your fire team on that. R is route to objective. The route to objective is going to be along this road or through this tree line, just giving your fire team a brief understanding of the general direction that you're moving, using hand signals to point that out. So that sums up the execution. After execution, you get to the A of OSMEAC, which is administration and logistics. This has 4 parts to it. It's band-aids, bullets, beans, and bad guys. Band-aids is going to be briefing your aid. So typically I would say self-aid, then buddy aid, then corpsman aid. Also, if you have any specific directive from your evaluator on what you're supposed to do with casualties, this is whenever you would brief that as well. Next, you have bullets. This is going to be the gear that you are designating your fire team to have. Typically, it's going to stay pretty much the same. You're going to have your LBV, canteens, your rifle, 2 magazines, and your Kevlar. After that, you have beans. This is your chow. Typically, you'd say MREs. Chow is continuous. And finally, bad guys. That's just going to be what you're going to do with your EPWs. EPWs are going to be detained and taken to the company command center, just depending on what you're briefed in your operations order. So that sums up administration and logistics. Next, you have command and signal. In this command and signal, signal is always briefed first. So an example of signal would be hand and arm signals, voice on contact, or havoc for short. This just means that before you make enemy contact, you're going to use hand and arm signals to communicate to your fire team, and once you sustain contact, then you will switch to using your voice to control your fire team. After signal is command. There's two parts to this. First is the location of key leaders. This is where you're going to designate where your squad leader or your platoon sergeant or your platoon commander is the situation. After that, you'll have succession of command, and that just determines who takes over if you go down as a fire team leader, who becomes the new fire team leader. So you'd say, ready, you are the next fire team leader, or you'd say, candidate Bates, you're the next fire team leader. That's the last paragraph. At the end of your operations order, it's important to ask again if there are any questions. And if there are no questions, then you would say the time of attack is now, and then you would state the time, and then you'd give your team time to prepare, and you would move out from there. Are we all present? Let's begin. Orientation. You are presently located at Lima 1 operating area at grid coordinate 1234, 5678. Say again, grid coordinate 1234, 5678. Our direction of attack will be 180 degrees magnetic through that tree line. Objective location. We'll move to enemy objective Bravo at grid coordinate 1359, 2769. Say again, 1359, 2769. Any questions? Please hold all questions till the end. Situation. Enemy situation. Approximately 24 hours ago, a squad-sized element of Taliban insurgents was seen setting up an ambush site at Lima Objective Bravo. They were armed with light machine guns and squad automatic weapons. Upon contact, they were expected to first defend and then withdraw. Friendly situation. Higher. First squad is located in vicinity of Lima Objective Bravo. Adjacent units. Second fire team is located to our east. Third fire team is located to our west. Supporting units, none. Attachments and detachments, none. Mission. First fire team. We are the main effort. On order, we will destroy the enemy located at Lima Objective Bravo in order to clear the area for friendly operations. Say again. First fire team. We are the main effort. On order, we will destroy the enemy located at Lima Objective Bravo in order to clear the area for friendly operations. Execution. Commander's intent? None. Concept of operations. Scheme of maneuver. From the assembly area to the attack position, we will move in a fire team column. From the attack position to the assault position, we'll move in a fire team wedge. From the assault position to the objective location, we'll move in fire team skirmishers. Once we sustain contact, we'll buddy rush, get all the way through the objective, then we'll set up a hasty 180. Once there's no chance of enemy counterattack, we'll set up a consolidated 360 and get ace reports. Fire support plan, there is none. Task. Candidate Bates, you are the ready. You are in charge of pace count and navigation. On order, you will move to destroy the enemy located at Lima Objective Bravo in order to clear the area for friendly operations. Candidate Smith, you are the fire. You are in charge of EPWs. On order, you will move to destroy the enemy located at Lima Objective Bravo in order to clear the area for friendly operations. Candidate Johnson, you are the assist. You will be in charge of the aid and litter team. On order, you will move to destroy the enemy located at Lima Objective Bravo in order to clear the area for friendly operations. Coordinating instructions. Time of attack is now. Base unit will be Candidate Bates. Order of movement will be ready, team, fire, and assist as we move in fire team column. When we move into fire team wedge, the ready will take the point position, the team leader will be on the left, the fire will be on the right, and the assist will bring up the rear. We move into fire team skirmishers, the ready and the team will buddy rush together, the fire and the assist will buddy rush together. Security. Once we have assaulted the objective, we'll set up a hasty 180 with the ready and the assist kicking out to cover 9 to 3 o'clock. After there's no chance of enemy counterattack, we'll set up into a consolidated 360 and collect ace reports. Tactical control measures. There are none. Route to the objective. We will move along this road, then through the tree line in order to get to the objective. Administration and logistics. Band-aids. We'll use self-aid, then buddy aid, then corps main aid. All casualties will be evacuated to the road. Bad guys. Enemy prisoners of war will be treated with the 5 S's and a T. Beans. Chow is continuous. Bullets. Each candidate will have an LBB, 2 canteens, their rifle, 2 magazines, and Kevlar. Command and signal. Signal. Signal will be havoc, hand and arm signals, voice on contact. Command. The location of key leaders are the platoon sergeant and the platoon commander are located at Lima 1 operating area. Succession of command will be Candidate Bates, followed by Candidate Smith, then Candidate Johnson. Are there any questions? The time is now 1800.